I feel like tonight everything just kind of came together. Like especially our last game with OSU, I feel like every aspect of our game, like it was super balanced. It's like our blocking was amazing, our passing was amazing, like everything was just like so like super balanced and good for us, and I think we carried that into practice this week and then this game tonight. So it was a huge win for us. So first Big Ten win felt really good.
The feelings for both of you on just the fan atmosphere and the environment in Matthew Night, what did it feel like on the floor?
Yeah, it was awesome. Our entire band was there. That was
so surprising. I was like,
it
whoa,
was
we
huge.
got everybody.
It was huge.
Oh
We
gosh.
couldn't even hear each other at one point. It was awesome.
It was bad. Warm-up lines were rough. I was like, I don't know what you're saying.
You're like, what are
Someone
we?
help me, please.
Yeah, but it was super special. Yeah, and for the first Big Ten game too, like, and we felt so much support from our fans. It was really cool. Good moment.
Since you had 5 kills, just walk me through that. Are you always going into the game just ready to strike it down to the floor? What's the mindset there?
Oh, absolutely. I just consider myself as an option because obviously when I'm in the back row, I have 3 hitters. So, like, in the front row, I have to be my own hitter. Like, I can only dish it to so many things. And then fast passes, I'm just going to have to take it myself. And just, I'm also very competitive. So, like, it's so much fun, like, for me to just kill it because I'm like, let's go. Come on, let's go.
Was that always a big part of your game while you were being recruited coming up through high school, or was it more instilled by this Oregon coaching staff to look at yourself as an option as a setter?
It's always been a part of me. Like, when I was in club, I was always, like, I always wanted to hit. I was always ready to, like, be my own thing, and I was a hitter before I was a setter. When I turned 16, I decided I was going to be a setter, and then I got recruited that same year. So I just have, like, the competitive mindset, and I just always want to hit, and I'm just aggressive.
It was your first real match with the students here where you were playing. Did it feel different with more people inside of that night?
I think at Colorado State, we had this huge crowd, and it was kind of the same thing how it was here, but obviously, like, opposing fans. So I definitely think having it here was great. I loved it a lot.
Did you feel like it was an advantage for your team or a disadvantage for your team when you were at Colorado State? Did you feel like it went the other way against Illinois tonight?
Yes, I think it did, like, it was a huge factor because, like, Colorado State, like, it's opposing us, and then you're, like, getting heckled, and you're like, oh, well, this is not fun. So I feel like them heckling and, like, all the loud noise, they couldn't really hear themselves, and it was just a huge advantage for us.
For both of you, what kind of, like, happened when you guys were down 3 points late in that second set for you to be able to battle back and win?
Yeah, I think we just needed to figure out our serve and pass a little. And so a big thing for us lately has been adjusting, like, super quickly. And I think we did a good job. It took us a little bit in the second set to do that, but then once we figured it out, and then we were solid on that. So it's just for us making that adjustment quick and not trying to do too much. So, yeah, that's how we kind of got out of that.
Billy, what do you think changed in that third set? Because you guys just became a little more dominant there after 2 close sets.
Yeah.
Sets 1 and 2. So what changed there?
Yeah, I think our service pressure was really good tonight, like across the board. Like every single server, like just put it on them. Chid's back there giving us calls, and I think we don't tell anyone that, but I think we made it a point of emphasis at practice, especially like getting those dots out, like hitting those dots well and consistently. So I think that was a big point for us tonight. So.
Daley, Coach talked about your first rotation at the service line, setting the tone. What do you feel like at the service line, and do you take pride in setting the tone with the ball in your hands?
Absolutely, yeah. I feel like my mindset is the same every single time, to go in aggressive but consistent. That has also been a point of emphasis in practice. Yeah. When we serve in practice, sometimes Matt is like, if you miss it, then you're out, then you're not serving anymore. And so he's like, last man standing. So that's been a really big focus. And so that's kind of my mindset going back there.
Coach talked about last week that the standard for the team wasn't high enough. Has that been a topic of conversation throughout this week, and how has that manifested itself throughout this week leading up?
For sure. I think we've talked about it as a team a lot. Like we've had meetings just as a team, no coaches. Obviously they mentioned that as well, but it takes us to change each other and hold each other accountable, and that starts in practice. And I think we've just both sides have been really competitive in practice lately, and I think that has just like upped our bar just so much more. And I think that's been a really big point of emphasis for going into the Big Ten especially. And I think it showed tonight for sure.
Is it a constant conversation because so much leadership sort of left last year? Is it a conversation about who is going to step up as a leader? And is it coaches communicating with players or just players themselves or a little bit
Yeah, I don't think it's anyone specific. I think that was a big thing for us this season. A lot of pieces left. And so it's up to all of us to bring our own energy, to bring our own accountability, our aggressiveness. Like everyone needs to provide. And I think everyone's done a really good job. We've talked about holding each other accountable and like not being afraid to say anything. Like let's say like if no one goes for the ball in practice, like the other teammate is saying something like, hey, you got to go, come on. Like trying to like nip that in the bud kind of, and just understanding that it's not personal, but we need to keep each other to those standards. So we've done a really good job of that because we're all such good friends, and so we don't want to step on each other's toes, but we've done a really good job of like that balance.